Hi lovelies, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive in. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to show you guys where a lot of people are reacting to the BRICS summit that held days back. People are like, what is it that Putin is planning this time around? What is it that he had with the with the Babylon? And I was just able to put up some of those teachers reacting to so many other countries joining this summit. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts and let's dive into it.
Dismiss the BRICS alliance as a political sideshow, but is it starting to crack the U.S.-led global order? These 9 countries now represent a bigger slice of global wealth than the G7, the main economic group of the United States and its junior partners. Population-wise, BRICS represents about 5 times more people around the world than these G7 nations, and it literally has 40 countries knocking on its door to join. But what power does it really have? And can the BRICS pose a challenge to America's grip on global dominance and the global economy, even if it wanted to?
It's a real thing, not an illusion. It's already challenged the order that was dominated by the United States, and it promises to continue to do so. It certainly is as we are speaking. They should not be thought of as some sort of monolith. They aren't. But they share that the highest priority they have is to emerge from the state of underdevelopment, less development, whatever. These are countries that don't yet have the standard of living of the United States and who do not accept the notion that they can't or mustn't or shouldn't aspire to at least the same standard of living, if not, in fact, a higher standard. And they want the freedom and they want the opportunity to do so. And now the tension. They feel that the United States, with its major allies, the G7, those 7 have held them back, first as colonies, and secondly as pariahs, as nations that are hemmed in by all kinds of restrictions. That is what's unacceptable. That is what they agree on, and that's where the rub with the G7 emerges. What the dollar as international currency means. They accept the paper, and we get the produce. Wow. They agree. But if you have the dollar and the world wants it, you basically get something for nothing. It's an extraordinary power, and guess what? Other countries would like to participate. That the dominance of the United States is over, and there is no prospect that I can see for it to come back.
The BRICS just aren't there yet, but they're clearly clawing at the door, and that's the bottom line.
Is this latest BRICS summit a true threat to Western alliances? Here is Putin talking about creating new shipping and transport corridors for trade. They've also talked about building a monetary system which enables the BRICS members to create their own emergency fund, which might replace the International Monetary Fund, and also an international banking network, which means that it can replace the Western Visa and MasterCard system, which they can't use in Russia currently. So quickly, what is BRICS? BRICS is an alliance of countries, namely Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South America. New countries have been mooted to join, including Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Argentina. Interestingly, at the latest BRICS summit in Kazan, the Brazilian Prime Minister didn't attend. He let out a statement saying that he had hurt his head, but he could attend by video. Much like Eurovision, I'm sure that's a political decision because Argentina aren't going to join. And if you know the connections between Argentina and the Western alliances, particularly Israel, you would understand why Argentina probably wouldn't join. The leader of the UAE also decided to abstain. No surprises there. BRICS could be seen as a rival to the G7 summit, which is primarily the Western alliance leaders. I mean, looking at the way Putin speaks to the BRICS members, he very much leans heavily on it being an anti-imperialist alliance. You look at the members, many of them are former Western colonies that are seeking to find their own independence and create new alliances, as I said, with Eastern-based world countries. Russia at the moment is struggling a bit with the sanctions imposed by the West. So it has to build new trade connections, and the monetary system also does have an impact on Russia. You know, people in Russia can't go and see artists that they want to see. They can't buy the clothes and material goods that they'd like to see if they see them in the Western Hemisphere. They can't purchase those things under their current monetary system. And Russia really was looking to align itself much more as a European country before the war on Ukraine. So it's interesting that the war on Ukraine happened, essentially. You could look at it as an extension of American outreach to ensure that sanctions were imposed on Russia for one reason or another. So this new trade route that Putin is proposing is obviously circumnavigating Russia and avoiding America completely. It does have to go through the Suez Canal in this instance, and he has come out and said that, you know, a lot of the larger ships can't actually get through the Suez Canal, but then they also have the option of going around Africa because, you know, it's an ally in the BRICS conglomerate. As you can see, this north-south corridor as well also takes advantage of transporting over Iran down to India, and it does actually avoid, or is the shipping lane, which basically saves them about half the time and cost of the previous route that they've been using. So the BRICS Summit Alliance enables Russia to form these connections to ensure it still has those trade routes. I mean, Western colonies were built on the security of naval trade routes, and we've seen with what's happening in Gaza, you know, in Yemeni Houthi pirates that are attacking ships. If they are aligned with BRICS, then they're not going to attack the nations that are members of BRICS, obviously, which is going to have an impact on Britain and America. And here it says, the north-south corridor could enhance trade routes with the BRICS nations, leading to stronger economic ties between Russia, India and Iran. This growth in economic cooperation could further isolate Western sanctions, especially those targeting Russia and Iran. With new trade routes and stronger partnership, Western pressure, particularly economic sanctions, may become less effective, which is interesting. The UK and USA, heavily reliant on sanctions to influence international policy, might see diminishing capacity to apply leverage through such means. And this is the important point right now. In that piece, it also goes on to talk about energy markets, which is another huge resource, and oil. And I'm sure at the moment in BRICS there are lots of smaller conversations and alliances being made about energy resources between those countries. The benefit that the Western countries have had, because of they basically hold everyone to ransom with their international monetary system and the IMF funds, is that, you know, because it's reliant upon the dollar, and so many countries have their regimes changed by the West, and then they are propped up with IMF funds, which are then political sanctions in relation to those loans, hold really significantly bad ramifications for a lot of those countries, Egypt being an example of that. So BRICS have actually talked about, for example, supporting places like Egypt. Egypt at the moment is obviously an ally of Israel, but that could shift if this influence of BRICS does take hold. Anyway, I just want to finish with a quick video of Putin talking on this matter.
The United States needs to think about its behavior. It has spoiled relations with Russia. It constantly introduces new sanctions, and this ultimately has a negative impact on itself, including on the dollar. The whole world has started thinking about whether it's worth using the dollar if the US, for political reasons, limits the use of the dollar as a universal international payment unit.
Africa is leading their people into a new era of slavery. There is an ongoing BRICS summit in Russia right now. Why are Africans getting involved in this?
We've had enough. Because we've tasted the other side. And look at where Africa is today. No BRIC member countries have ever colonized or enslaved Africans.
Okay.
Russia has never colonized or enslaved Africans. China has never colonized or enslaved Africans. And the list goes on. So yeah. I think it's an opportunity for us to come together with these countries and strengthen our economy. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I mean, you seem to be extremely positive and thinking that because you're just switching basically from white people to other set of white people.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all these
you'll be robbed again.
The other countries that are the key members in BRICS, they've gone through hardship in the hands of the Western world.
Well, you know, I'm happy for you if you think this is the rescue action for Africa and that Africa needs. I don't believe in it, but if you believe in it, good for you.
Do you know why I'm glad that, you know, there's an alternative now coming up, which is BRICS, because it's going to insulate African countries, those African countries that want to stand up and kick out these colonial masters and their ideology and their regime in Africa, you know? Sanctions whereby you can't trade with your neighbors anymore because they are allies to the US or allies to Europe, you know. BRICS coming together kind of insulate these countries from sanctions. And it's going to favor Africa because a lot of African countries are going through turmoil right now. The reason why African countries can't shut their pipelines, shut down their resources and say no more resources to the West is because of sanctions. They are scared. Because when they do that, there's going to be sanctions against that country and they can't trade with any other countries, you know. So if African countries get into BRICS, you know, and they get an alternative to trade their resources, when the West says, we are no longer buying your resources because you are no longer our allies, good. We turn to Russia. We turn to China.
Do you know what I think? Honestly, I just think that since, you know, Africa is full of resources that everybody wants, I think this is just a way to sugarcoat what's already happening.
But the thing is, they are going to pay us a fair price.
Maybe at start, yes.
No more looting, you know. When the West, when they want to loot Africa, they will be more careful because if you mess with Africa, you mess with BRICS and you mess with Russia as well. So, yeah.
I think it's a way to manipulate you into thinking it's a good deal.
Have you not manipulated us enough?
I'm not saying that nobody ever done it before. I'm just saying that it's a new era of manipulation.
No. I believe any alternative is good for Africa because the old ways, apparently, they are not working for us.
Because of your people, because of your leaders.
No, because of the West.
And you keep blaming others for it. I
just told you that when an African country stands up, wants to fix its economy, change the status quo, the West, they clap down. They send in the jackals. Look at what happened to Gaddafi. Look at what is happening to Burkina Faso today. Look at what is happening to Niger when they told the French people, hell no, we are not going to sell our uranium for cheap anymore. You better pay us the fair price. Look at what is happening to them. So I believe BRICS is an alternative and I want BRICS in Africa. I want every African countries to up into this, this new chance, this new hope and shine.
If a country tells me, sir, we like you very much, but we're going to no longer adhere to being in the reserve currency. We're not going to salute the dollar anymore. I'll say, that's okay. And you're going to pay a 100% tariff on everything you sell into the United States. And we love your product. I hope you sell a lot of it into the United States, but you're going to pay 100% tariff. He will then follow it up by saying, sir, it would be an honor to stay with the reserve currency. That will be like just playing. That's not even chess, that's checkers. But you don't have other, listen to this, you don't have other people that can talk that way.
Confirmation that BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and 159 participants will adopt a new payment system signals a significant shift in the global financial landscape, which could have notable implications for Canada. The adoption of a new BRICS payment system represents challenges the geopolitical shifts, and ensuring Canadian financial institutions remain competitive will be crucial in the coming years. This is another reason why Matrix 5 is diversifying capital into the Riviera Maya, Mexico, and you should too. Visit www.matrix5.com to learn more.
So today, isolated Russia, as the West likes to call Russia. So Russia welcomes representatives of 40 countries. And the world leaders, they line up to shake hands with isolated Putin. Yeah, isn't that hilarious? Whatever the West does, they always fail. Because they are like school bullies, you know. They know how to bully someone, how to harass someone, and nothing else. So also, besides those 40 representatives, United Nations Chief Guterres also will fly to Russia to hold a bunch of meetings with top officials. And you know what? Zelensky's regime is so upset about it. They are whining about that United Nations chief comes to Kazan, to BRICS summit in Kazan. But he didn't show up at Zelensky's useless peace summit in Switzerland earlier this year, but he comes to BRICS summit in Kazan, but he ignored Zelensky's peace summit because it's useless. And the West, you know, hates BRICS so much, but they won't admit that publicly. BRICS, you know, it's a symbol of the failure of the West's attempts to make Russia look bad, and they fail miserably. You know, the West is only capable, they're only good at, I mean, they're not good, but they're just capable of stealing Russian money from the Russian assets. And that's it. And also, they're good at using sanctions. If something doesn't go their way, they start to cry and use sanctions. Yeah. And so, but now, the West cry. And I love to see it. They fail, and we like to see them.
Some of this, I was just going through my For You page on TikTok. I was just going through, you know, up and down to, like, you know, put up something here for us to know what is really happening in today's world. And I came across so many people stitching videos, you know, talking about the, you know, the summits that took place. People are reacting to it. A lot of people are like, what is happening? What is going to be the fate of the Babylon? What is going to be the fate of, you know? And it's as if a lot of people are actually in support of this BRIC nation, you know, because of the advantages, so many advantages that was actually seen, you know. And people are like, okay, it is actually time for Africa and every other place that was once colonized by these, you know, colonized, like colonial masters, to stand on their own and build something for themselves. Like, they are like, enough of all of the brainwash. They want to do something for themselves. And there is something I noticed about these people, these BRICS people and people that of this country that's got themselves involved with this, you know, new thing, is that majority of the people that are involved are never enslaved, you know, anyone. Let's just take Russia, for instance. Historically, it was said that Russia never allowed, you know, slave trade and all of that. And the thing is that Putin, there is one thing about this Putin of a man, you know, of a president, or I don't know. I'm just saying out of what I noticed about Putin. First of all, he was actually the first person, he was actually the man that comes out to tell the world that, okay, you guys have been deceived for a very long time. the person which they, portray to you guys, that is how our savior looks like, is not the same way he looks like. You guys have been lied to, for over the years. And he went ahead to open a board showing the entire world that they have been deceived for a very long time, showing the entire world that they have been lied to, and because of that, I keep asking myself, even if it actually took him years for him to come to terms that, okay, it's actually time for me to tell these people, the world, the truth. Why did he do that? Why was he the only president that decided to come out to spill the truth? Like, seriously, I just thought of that. And another thing is that I thought of, okay, Russia not having any sort of historical, thing that has to do with they own slave or they don't own slave. I try as much as I can to make, more findings. And I realized that they do not, own or have slaves for, And the thing is that there is a video I posted one time where he was talking about people can migrate to Russia, which me myself as a black lady, I still do not trust, such invitation. A lot of people were like, okay, he's not inviting people that looks like me. I think that he's just inviting people that looks like him. But it was actually trending that, okay, he's just telling everyone to come migrate. Russia is a safe place for both people that looks like me and all of that. But me personally, I still do not trust. But the thing is that there's still something about his portrait with all of the things that he's doing. But the way at which, the West, or the way at which it is said that they are the bad guys, why is it that he does all of these things, but the media still portray these people as the bad people? Like, guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just trying to know what's all this propaganda all about. He's a person that opened doors and decided to tell people that, okay, this is the way at which Jesus Christ or Yeshua looks like. He's a black man, he's a black person. We are supposed to be worshiping a black God. We are not supposed to be worshiping the one that looks like me. Now, they never got themselves involved in slavery and all of that. Okay. He's just invited, like, he's just doing things. But the way at which the media is portraying, him and Russia and all as the bad people. Like, can you just, leave it in the comment section, like, make it make sense, lovelies. Make it really make sense. And now, he got tired of all of the, economy and whatsoever, and that comes about this BRICS thing. I have heard about this BRICS nation that's only this year, and when I heard about it, it was just like 5 countries that involve South Africa, Israel, Brazil, and all of that. But now, people are reacting to the fact that a lot of countries are joining them, and people also are reacting that these countries joining them might actually have a negative impact to America. People are like, what is going to be the fate of the American currency? People are like, what is going to happen? Like, seriously, this has actually made a lot of people reacting both positively and negatively. People are like, okay, do your thing, we don't care, and all of that. I even saw a stitch which I put up here where Donald Trump was like, okay, if they should do something like that, they're going to charge 100% whatsoever. And people are like, when I saw this comment section, people are like, even if you charge, you're also going to be charged for trying to export things from these countries. Like, the way at which I am seeing these things, they are very, very serious. Like, these guys are coming with force. And lovelies, I wouldn't even blame any other person, like all of the African countries joining them. I think Nigeria has joined them, and which other country has joined them. I wouldn't blame them. Like, I sincerely agree with the mask podcast, stitch that I put up here. He was like, okay, when the young pan-colored lady was like, is it that Africans are allowing these people to colonize them again? Like, when I went to the comment section, a lot of people were like, okay, this is not really that forcefully colonizing them. This is just something that it is open. If you want to join, you join. If you don't want to join, you just leave it. It's not that they are forcing people, just the way they forced people, during the past. And the guy in question during the, postcards stitcher I put up here, he was like, Africans are tired. Like, they are really tired for like hustling, doing all of the things, having all of the natural resources, but they are being paid pennies for all of these God-given natural resources and all of that. So if he's going to take this thing to actually build Africa, or to build all of these people that have been subdued in some type of way, be it physically, mentally, and all of that, I think it might actually be a good thing. I don't know. Just correct me if I am wrong, because I am not really into this financial aspect of whatsoever that is going on. But the way at which people are giving positive reviews on this BRICS, issue, I think that is a very welcoming idea. I don't know, but the thing is that a lot of people are also talking about how it might actually crash the economy of the West, and it might also affect other people. But we don't know. This is just a summit. But the thing is that people are reacting to the fact that a lot of people, or a lot of countries, are trying or are partnering, they're trying to partner with them. Like, people were like, they were 5, and now they are even more than 5. People are like, okay, we want to join you guys. So this is just something that is so serious that people really need to look into. We don't know why inflation is at the rocket speed. We don't know why things are just going up without getting down. The economy is as it's just in the level of, oh God, we need help right now. Like, people are really suffering. Inflation is nothing to even write home about, because it's just so tedious out there. It's so hard to survive. Like, the inflation crisis and the high rise of prices, and oh gosh. So if this is going to be a welcome a welcome thing, guys, just put in the comment section of what you think. If you feel that it's a good thing, it's going to improve people, the way at which people's life, are being lived and all of that, you can just put in the comments. And if you think otherwise, that this is actually a very bad idea which might affect individuals, you can also leave it in the comment section of what you think of this video. So when I saw this, I decided to just put it up here for us to know what is really going on with all of the summit and the controversy of people. Oh my God, what is really happening? Please leave your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. If you do not subscribe to this channel up to this earth, then please do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button, and I will see you lovelies when I upload thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here to educate and inform ourselves. All right, lovelies, please share this video, subscribe, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.